Hanan Monsour's life story unfolds with the richness and complexity akin to the intricate patterns of Lebanese tapestry. Born into the vibrant culture of Lebanon in the mid-1930s, Hanan's early years were shaped by the traditions and evolving dynamics of a country rich in history. At the young age of 20, she entered into marriage with Hanan Monsour, aligning her path with a well-established Lebanese family, thus beginning a new chapter filled with both promise and challenges. Together, Hanan and Farouk built a life enriched by the birth of their two daughters, Layla and Galara, who brought immense joy and fulfillment to their lives. However, the tapestry of her life was darkened by tragedy with the untimely death of her brother Nabi, a figure of prominence in Lebanese society whose life was abruptly cut short in a plane crash. This loss deeply affected Hanan, casting a shadow over her happiness. The years that followed brought further challenges for Hanan. After the birth of her second daughter, she was diagnosed with a serious heart condition. Despite stern warnings from her doctors about the risks of another pregnancy, Hanan's desire for a larger family led her to disregard medical advice, resulting in the birth of her son in 1962. This decision, however, came at a cost. Her health began to decline sharply, especially noticeable after her brother's death, plunging her into periods of intense reflection about life and death. During these reflective periods, Hanan expressed to Farouk her profound sense of premonition. She believed strongly in the concept of reincarnation and felt that her death would not be the end of her voice or her spirit. She claimed that she would be reincarnated and have much to say about her experiences in her past life. These conversations were marked with a sense of inevitability and a deep spiritual understanding of life's cyclical nature. In pursuit of a remedy and perhaps more time with her beloved family, Hanan traveled to Richmond, Virginia at the age of 36 for heart surgery, a journey filled with hope but overshadowed by her deteriorating health. The night before her surgery, in a poignant moment of longing, she attempted to reach out to her daughter Layla but was unable to connect, a metaphor for her increasingly fragile grip on life. Tragically, Hanan's fight came to an end when she succumbed to complications during surgery, just a day after the procedure. Her death marked a profound loss for her family and all who knew her, leaving behind a legacy of love, resilience, and a mystical belief in life beyond the physical realm. Just 10 days following Hanan's death, a new life began with the birth of Suzanne Ghanem, whose arrival was preceded by a vivid and prophetic dream experienced by her mother. In this dream, she encountered a woman around the age of 40, the same age Hanan would have been, who embraced her and declared her intent to return to her. Upon seeing a photograph of Hanan later, Suzanne's mother was struck by the realization that the woman in her dream bore a striking resemblance to Hanan. This remarkable connection deepened as Suzanne grew. At only 16 months old, she exhibited unusual behavior for a child her age by engaging with a telephone in a way that suggested familiarity and purpose. She repeatedly attempted to initiate contact by asking for Layla, a name unbeknownst to her family but significant as one of Hanan Monsour's daughters. This incident marked the beginning of Suzanne's revelations about her purported past life. As Suzanne's ability to communicate grew, so did the clarity of her declarations. She identified herself not as Suzanne but as Hanan, insisting that she once lived as Hanan Monsour. When her family probed for more details, Suzanne cryptically responded that her head is still small, implying that her young age and developing mind limited her ability to fully articulate her past life memories. By the age of 2, Suzanne had astonishingly referenced 13 names, each correlating to significant individuals in Hanan Monsour's life, including her children, her husband Farouk, and other close family members. These revelations presented a compelling case for those who study cases of potential reincarnation, suggesting that Suzanne might be retaining memories from a life once lived by Hanan. The mysterious connection between Suzanne Ghanem and the Monsour family deepened as the Ghanems undertook the daunting task of reaching out to the Monsours, the family of Hanan, the woman Suzanne claimed to have been in a previous life. The encounter that followed would challenge the bounds of skepticism and belief. Upon learning of Suzanne's assertions, the Monsours, driven by a mixture of curiosity and disbelief, decided to meet the young girl. Their skepticism was understandable. The notion of a child claiming to be the reincarnation of a deceased relative was as unsettling as it was unfathomable. However, their doubts were soon to be confronted by startling revelations. During their meeting, Suzanne's knowledge about the Monsour family was put to the test. In an encounter that left those present both amazed and bewildered, she successfully identified all of Hanan's relatives by name, recognizing them as if she had never left. Further compelling was her intimate knowledge of details unknown to anyone outside the immediate family. Suzanne spoke of jewels Hanan had entrusted to her brother Hercule before her surgery, a family secret that had never been disclosed publicly. Her accurate account of these jewels solidified the Monsours' growing belief in her claims. Moreover, Suzanne's connection to the Monsours displayed characteristics that transcended mere anecdotal evidence. Before she had even learned to read or write, Suzanne had scribbled a sequence of numbers that astonishingly matched the Monsours' phone number, albeit with 2 digits transposed. This peculiar incident added another layer of intrigue to her story. Suzanne's profound connection to Hanan's past was further evidenced in her recitation of the oration from Nabi's funeral, a speech she had no way of knowing, yet was able to recite verbatim, much to the astonishment of all who heard it. As Suzanne grew older, her bond with Farouk, Hanan's husband, remained strong. Even at the age of 25, she maintained regular contact with him, a testament to the enduring connection she felt. Farouk, for his part, came to accept Suzanne as the reincarnation of his late wife, citing her ability to recognize scores of acquaintances and her knowledge of intimate details as convincing evidence of this extraordinary claim. This incredible story is further complemented by the striking physical resemblance between Suzanne and Hanan, evident in side-by-side photographic comparisons. Such similarities lend visual credence to the assertion that certain facial features might indeed persist across different incarnations. Dr. Ian Stevenson, a professor of psychiatry at the University of Virginia, dedicated his career to the scientific study of reincarnation, particularly focusing on children's past life memories. Recognized for his meticulous academic style, Stevenson's research was primarily aimed at a scholarly audience, emphasizing the rigor and methodological robustness required to gain acceptance in the scientific community. Stevenson's interest in Suzanne Ghanem's case began when she was just a small child in Lebanon in the late 1960s. He initially documented her experiences and the claims of her remembering a past life as Hanan Monsour. Decades later, in 1998, Stevenson revisited the case, accompanied by Tom Schroeder, a journalist from the Washington Post, who was at the time writing a book about Stevenson's work. During this visit, now with Suzanne at the age of 35, Stevenson observed and documented that she retained the facial features of Hanan Monsour, providing a striking continuity to the claims of reincarnation first made when Suzanne was merely a toddler. This moment of realization underscored a critical aspect of Stevenson's work, the ongoing nature of research in the field of reincarnation. New evidence and insights can emerge even decades after the initial investigations, illustrating the evolving and dynamic progression of cases under long-term scrutiny. Stevenson's revisitation of Suzanne's case 30 years later highlights the potential for ongoing discoveries and the importance of maintaining a scientific curiosity and rigor in the exploration of human consciousness and the possibilities of life beyond a single existence. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Fireside Unsolved. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to help the channel grow. Until next time, take it easy and be easy, you filthy bastards.